check, check, check. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Talk Real, Get Real. We have a special guest today. Very, very excited. I'm glad that everybody's out there. They're hanging out. We're ready for a really good show today. We got a bunch of people that are on that are watching so far. And we're gonna get with this. We got Brother Man is here today. I'm gonna slide over a little bit. Come on over.
How are you today, sir?
I'm alright.
I did that. I messed with it, so it won't. We won't have no drop frames today.
Oh, how'd you mess with it?
I just changed the resolution of the camera so it wasn't. Our little computer can chug along.
You can slide over a little bit more. You look like you're falling off the chair, brother. It's all about brotherhood. We can be close together.
But you're getting too big though.
Not me. You're the one working out.
Oh goodness! I hear somebody in the back.
I do hear somebody. He's supposed to be quiet because it's supposed to be a special show here.
We got somebody on today. You didn't tell me we got somebody on.
We got somebody on today, and you know what? We've been pretty quiet lately, and it's just been us kind of going back and forth and bantering and stuff. But we got a very special guest, so I want everybody to hang tight. Get ready. I don't know if you can guess who it is because he's talking. No. You're supposed to be quiet.
Did you put his volume on?
Yeah, no. I think his volume is off. Yeah, I think he can talk to us and nobody can hear him. So here I am talking to myself, talking to him. It's all good. Oh man. So let's get ready for a really good show. Right. Another Talk Real, Get Real. All right. What?
Oh, you gonna hit this?
I'm gonna hit the thing. It's all right.
So hit that. Make sure you hit the feed. All right.
I got you, brother.
All
I
right,
got you.
all right.
Damn. Little white Jew. All of a sudden, I'm having problems trying to do stuff. Come on, I got this. I'm good so far. So we have a very special guest today. We got a very special guest. He's super excited to be on. I gotta say, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
yes.
Let me set this up.
All right, so go up there
and hit that.
Hit that.
All right, we're gonna hit that.
There you go.
And that's gonna be better.
That's better.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So let's
put his mic on first.
Well, I don't want to put his mic on yet. Oh yeah, I guess.
So you gotta introduce him first.
I'm gonna introduce him.
All right.
So hold on, let me. That we should do there.
And, yeah, turn that on. Hey, everybody's gonna be in for a treat today.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, you turn it on again.
So you know what I can do?
Yeah, we gotta move it up a little bit.
Yeah. So let me click on that, and we can.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So now we're a little better.
So you don't mess with it.
We'll lock it back.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to announce that we have a wonderful guest on today. His name is Sifu Sharif. He is with the Hungar system.
Yeah,
so
he's Hungar.
He's Hungar. So welcome, Sifu.
All right.
Hey guys, how are you?
Ooh.
Finally
we got this man on.
We've been trying for a really, really long time. So.
And Sifu Raul is on.
Sifu Raul is watching.
How are you, sir?
How you doing? All right,
I'm good, man. How's everybody?
Good, Sifu. Good. So make sure you talk into that mic nice and clear so we get to hear you.
Yeah, make sure
sir, absolutely.
Everybody can hear you. Well, if you guys can hear Sifu, let me know. If you need to turn him up a little bit, we can turn him up.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, very good. Very good. Plus, it's a little loud here too because my guys are still here. I can't. You know how it is in the kung fu world with kung fu people.
Yeah, you can't.
You bow them out, right? They still want to stick around. You know, like they pay rent.
They still want to hang out. The minute I open up the school, people come in.
Yeah.
Awesome. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your system, your style,
sure,
and the lineage a little bit. This way, people in the Facebook and YouTube world can get some understandings.
Absolutely. Well, first, the Honga style, I want to say, again, I'm preaching to the choir, I'm sure.
Yes.
Kung Fu is just a slang word that means, that denotes any martial arts style that comes from China. So there's hundreds and hundreds of them, obviously. We do one style. The style is from southern China, from Guangdong province, by way of Fujian province, and it's called the Hong family style or Honga Kung Fu. It's considered a Shaolin style.
Whoop whoop.
People know. Let me move away from these guys. They're so loud. But people, are familiar with Honga power. When you say Honga, people say, "Oh, those guys are very powerful. They have explosive power." The main thing I would like to emphasize about Honga is the very, very strict training of foundation. To us, foundation is everything. You can, foundation. How I would explain it is how you weaponize the body. It's how you militarize the body. Without, then punches and kicks are just athletic skill. They're not military skill. You know what I mean? Think about one of the ways we advertise, or martial artists advertise. They say, well, hey, if you learn martial arts, you can defend yourself against anybody. It doesn't matter how big or how strong, right? Yeah, right. Sure.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And the reason that is because most of us are teaching, and I say us because it's our community, we're teaching athletic skill and not military skill. If you take a 15-year-old with 98 pounds soaking wet, no way in the world they're gonna beat me at 215 pounds. But now if you give that 15-year-old a knife in one hand and a 380 in the other, now we're talking a different story. Yeah. Because they've demonstrated a tool or a skill that does not respect the fact that I have superior strength. You see, that's the difference between military skill and athletic skill. And so, foundation training to us is how we weaponize the body. How we, a lot of people don't do that type of conditioning anymore, sadly.
Very sadly.
Yes. So if you know what they do when they see it, they see people like yourself in your school, and they see you doing old classical stuff. They're like, oh, that's nonsense. That's what they did on Channel 5 back in the day, Kung Fu Theater, right? because that's where they first saw it. So that's what they associated with. They don't associate this with we're strengthening the body in the way that a fighter or combat, practitioner would do so. Not the way a football player would do so.
Absolutely.
Not the way a basketball player would do so. See, they have conditioning as well, but the conditioning is conducive to what they do. Our conditioning is conducive to what we want to do.
Absolutely.
So that's what I want to say Honga is really about, and what Honga is really known for is the training of the foundation. When you have good foundation, you guys know how it is. If you have good foundation, you can steal other people's techniques, but they can't steal your foundation.
That's right.
I agree. I think people are scared of losing students, and that's one of the main reasons why they don't teach the foundation and the strength training, because they don't want to lose the students. And if that's what it's about, they should be closing the door up.
I mean, here it is. My Sifu was very what people would call traditional, but we're more. He taught us the difference between being traditional and idealistic. So back in the day, we were like, hey, we want to teach people the way you taught us, Sifu, and he's wise enough to realize that, well, you know what? You got to give it to people nowadays. You have to give it to people where they are. If you got somebody coming to your school and, Kung Fu means skill, skill that took time and effort to acquire. So if their objective is to get their high blood pressure down and their high blood pressure is going down, then their Kung Fu is good. Maybe they can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag, but their Kung Fu's good because they're meeting their objective. Now, it's altogether different when you got the guy that says, hey, I want to come and I want to be able to fight 5 people simultaneously, but he can't sit horse stance. Like, are you kidding me? You want to fight how many people? And you can't sit horse stance for a minute? No. Your Kung Fu sucks. I don't care how high you kick.
Yeah.
I don't care how hard you can punch.
But wait a minute, Sifu. They say that horse stance and all that training is obsolete nowadays.
Oh, that's funny. Now, okay, this is what I tell my students, because we talk about that type of thing, right? This is what we talk about it, right?
Uh-huh.
So, when you see football, like football running backs training, right? I when they run sideways through the tires, cross leg, in and out of the tires so they get their knees high, right? They develop, that type of dexterity with the legs so they can have maneuverability. Do they run down the field during the game like that?
No.
Absolutely not, right? So what are they doing? They're training equality. That's it. They're training equality. Like my Sifu would say, okay, we do Q-Sao, Q-Sao, right?
Right.
To develop the hand bridge. That's how you're gonna punch people.
No.
Like when you lift weights, do you carry the weights to the car with you after you get done? No, you leave them in the gym.
Of course.
So
But
you're developing
you're preaching to the choir.
equality.
You're preaching to the choir right now. You know that,
Yes,
right?
sir. I know.
But you know what? It's good. You know what? For me,
Yes.
to listen to what you're saying,
Yes, sir.
it solidifies what
Yes.
we're preaching and what we're teaching here at our school. What we're
Yes, sir.
working to and what the goal is to
Yes, sir.
develop that like-minded
I
thought.
got a question.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
sir.
I got a question. So,
Yes, sir.
you got a young cat coming in, but 19, 20, 21 wants to come in and seeing every match in MMA come in and is like, dude, I just wanna bang, I just wanna fight, I wanna do this stuff.
Oh, my God.
How would you particularly handle somebody like that in the 21st century?
Hold on. I'm gonna include. Hold on, just a second, guys.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
You guys say, hey, everybody.
Hey!
Okay. So the host of the show just asked this one question, and some of you were here to know what I'm about to say. He said, what if you got some young, strapping guy, like 19, 20, he's done MMA, he's done some other things, and he comes in and says, hey, you know what, I just want to fight, I just want to bang. How do you deal with that kind of guy, right? So, Kyle, tell them what happened when that happened.
We just said, you know what, why don't you sit and watch class for a few minutes, see what you think.
No. I'm talking about the 3 guys that came like that. Remember the 3?
Yeah, with the conversation and the iron bar.
No. What happened? What was the final outcome when they tried the one Tuesday fight class? They joined. There you go.
Uh-huh.
They joined.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, yeah, they joined. Well, I mean, what it was is, and going back to your question. Okay, you guys back at it. Go ahead. What it boils down to was they didn't understand methodology. They didn't understand why we do what we do. They had their own idea, and it came from media. It came from the movies.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So they ended up matching up and doing fight drills, literally. Bali answers. They ended up doing fight drills with my female students. And we're getting banged up. And so they were getting banged up. And so they got a chance to see firsthand why we do what we do. We got the opportunity to explain to them and demystify Shaolin Kung Fu.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then when they understood that, they were good guys. They were like, you know what? This is cool stuff. I get it now.
It's an uneducated society.
Yes, sir.
That is the
Yes, sir.
primary reason why we're running the show and doing the Talk Real Get Real, to educate the public, to let them know, or just to give them a little idea or a little understanding on what direction they should be going in, or what direction, if they want to do martial arts, it's like wanting to go get pizza, you don't go to a Chinese restaurant.
You go.
You got to know what you want to eat. You got to know what you want to do. So we need to educate people, because today's day, everybody thinks all martial arts is karate. Oh, so you're going to karate today. Oh, you're going to karate today. And it's
I
like
get that all the time.
all the time. And you know what? People don't know the difference, but you really can't blame them, because society has not opened up those doors for education yet. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
Also, because of MMA gyms, and I love MMA.
Yep, me too.
I love
me
what
too.
they do. And I want to talk about that. I'm going to bring up something else related to that in a minute. But I love MMA, and I love what they do. But, because that's what's predominant in the eyes of the public today, people are not looking for a school experience. They're looking for a gym experience. And we teach a school. It's a school where you advance, you progress. It's bigger than the gym experience, and I know you guys deal with that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
All the time.
I don't want to test. Why do I have a test for? I just want to throw punches. What are you talking about? Get ranked? I don't, Yeah, and so that's that's the cultural piece about this as well, that we're passing on a trade.
Yeah, but what I notice now, Sifu, is that a lot of the fighters nowadays have rank. They have rank
Yes.
a lot, and they have not just one degree, second degree, third degree, and these guys still
Bang.
train and bang and represent their style.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
But they're diversified. But there's like, yeah, I train in karate for 15 years. I train in kung fu and capoeira for 15 years or 17 years, and they're going in there and they're rocking house, and these people have rank.
You know what, brother? You know what? I mean, you said a mouthful right there, and it's only the MMA aficionados that have a problem with traditional martial arts and classical.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The real MMA guys, as a matter of fact, most of the good ones, as you just pointed out, brother, have all had classical training. They all had classical training as a foundation.
Yep, without a doubt. So, can you show me your school? Show me what you've done. Show me from
walk us around.
Yeah, walk us around from the inside out, or from the outside
absolutely. in. I just walked into my office because it's quiet. So
ooh, look at this office.
Wow.
My office is a mess. Oh my God, because it doubles as a treatment center. You guys know, of course, the kung fu, the complete, kung fu. The ideal kung fu, man, is not just punch, kick, and everything, but it's the history, the philosophy, and so there's some of my medicine right there.
Nice.
I've got moxa, I've got the jiao, of course. The needles and everything else. My table, because people get dit down means beat them up, you fix them up.
yeah.
No, that works. And then I just got this new spot. I was in another location for about 9 years, and I moved into downtown Syracuse, New York, and they're treating me lovely. Like they did the build out, did a custom build out for me. Here's my sun toy. Here's my altar. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So there's my altar. And for the listeners, I'm sure most of them are familiar, but if not, the altar is not necessarily a religious thing. It's another culture's way of honoring their ancestors and their forefathers. Like we would put, when we put flowers on a gravesite, that's not religious. And more so, it's not for the people in the grave, it's for us. It's the effect it has on us. It helps us strengthen our connection with those people because they're not in the body anymore. And so that's what the altar's for, And the altar helps our fighting. I just want to say that. The altar helps our fighting. Let me tell you how it helps our fighting. If you grew up in a particular neighborhood and you were born and raised in that neighborhood to the point where you might have little beefs with the guys next door, down the street, but nobody outside the neighborhood can touch you. The whole neighborhood comes out for you, And so it could be 4 a.m. and you're walking in the hood and you know what? It can't happen to you. It just can't happen to you because you're in your place. You're in your space. So that's the whole idea of knowing the history of the altar, knowing the people that are on the altar and knowing their history. You have that backing when you're doing your techniques. You have in mind and you have the pride that you carry with you, the people that went before that helped to develop it. And you, as you know, in the military, you have what they call psychological operations, or psyops. The objective is not to destroy the enemy's fight, or their weapons. It's to destroy their will. And how do you do that? You strengthen your will to fight, to make your superior to theirs. So that's why the altar is important. That's why the history is important. That's why the lineage is important.
And I agree with that, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. A lot of traditional stylists, they sit on the coattails of their great grandmasters, thinking that because they were great fighters, they're through osmosis and blessings and bows that they're going to attain the quality of that fighting skill, which is absolute nonsense.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree with you more. As a matter of fact, I'll take it this far. We want to honor our forefathers, right? That's the whole purpose of even knowing about it. And one of the reasons we practice style is to honor those that came before us. So let's just say hypothetically that the old revolutionaries fighting the Qing officials would use tiger claw to emasculate Qing officials, right?
Uh-huh.
How would we honor them? Would you honor them by emasculating people? No. With a tiger claw? No. But you honor them by working very hard to develop the skill that it took to do that.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's how you honor them. So, the opposite of that is you running around telling stories to impress your friends about the forefathers of your style being able to emasculate people with the tiger claw. All you're doing is getting yourself in trouble and making yourself look like a clown. Because sooner or later, somebody's going to say, well, hey, can you do that? If you can't do that, why are you talking about it?
Yeah. Can you do that? You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So we honor by doing. That's the cool thing about martial arts, even with education, is that the education is visceral. So what? You can wrap your head around the idea of the technique. If you can't do it, you don't know it.
Amen.
So we want to show
honest.
Keep your goddamn mouth shut.
Yes. It keeps you honest. It keeps you honest, and that's what we say that there's no on the floor of your Kung Fu school. There's no lying. There's no lying. Horse dance never told a lie.
Yep.
It never told a lie. Either you could do it or you can't do it. That's it.
Yeah, we got people practicing bridge all the time. We do the iron bridge techniques when we do our disciplines. We do our horse dance. We do the buckets. We do iron bridge. Tell these people, if you can't hold an iron bridge for at least 3 minutes, how could you throw a punch and hurt somebody?
Yes, sir.
So it's the iron bridge is your connection to your opponent. So there's so much that people don't do as far as disciplines and strengthening the body, especially for what we need to do to grow to that next level. So that's awesome.
So my question is,
did he walk us through the rest of the school?
Yeah, he did.
Oh no, I didn't.
No,
sorry, hold on.
Right.
We stopped at the altar.
Noise. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys.
We got caught up in this.
Yeah, what about some lions? Show me some lions.
Oh yeah, I saw one lion.
Oh, okay. You know what? Hold on.
Look at all those changing rooms.
Yeah, people are still hanging around. Kung Fu bums. You see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Just like that.
Nice.
We're like 4. Doing like,
Right away. See that? Student rode over there and get right there and hold that tail for him.
See? That's strong lion dance.
Yeah. You see? And the problem is most Kung Fu schools don't do lion dance. Right away, picks up the lion. Let me show you, right? That's it.
Yep.
See, but that's awesome because most Kung Fu schools, again, 80-20, that's the concept. 80% of the Kung Fu schools out there don't do lion dance because they can't because their teacher never showed them. 20% of us do lion dance.
I've seen some of the 20% shouldn't be doing lion dance. They shouldn't be doing lion dance.
Oh no, you did not go there.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing lion dance.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's laughing because he knows.
He knows, But I've seen, from that little bit, you can tell.
Your Kung Fu's good.
Yeah, but your Kung Fu's good by how you move with the lion, and people don't understand that. They just think it's a dance. They don't understand that the Kung Fu has to be strong in order to pick that up and make it viable and make it pop and stuff like that. People don't get that. They don't understand that.
Yes, sir. My Sifu emphasizes heavily the lion dance for combat training for those very reasons. Yep. To train the power, to train the ging, the live power to go beyond your limbs. That's what makes the lion look alive.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was fun. I'm an old man. I turn 52 next month.
No, you didn't.
God bless. That's awesome.
No, seriously.
52?
52, yeah.
Holy smack. I've been watching you on YouTube for a long time, dude. 52?
Yeah.
You know what's really good is that this is our generation.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You know what? We're in our generation right now. Like we have all of our instructors that are getting older, and eventually they're going to be passing that torch on to us, and we're the generation that has to keep the martial arts strong.
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure, man.
It's a big responsibility.
That's a lot of pressure.
A lot of people don't understand.
You know what, brothers? You said a mouthful because we're the ones set to kind of like take the torch from our Sifus and our masters, but it's also the time, where we're at a point where people are wondering whether what we do is going to survive.
That's my next question.
Yeah.
How
People are wondering
how you gonna
whether
how you gonna survive and flourish and get that demographic? Because you know what demographic I'm talking about. That young 19. How you gonna do that in the 21st century? Teaching the way we teach, and getting these people and making it flourish.
Here now, a couple of years ago, somebody had asked a similar question on a forum, and of course, we're looking at the negative, like, yeah, you know, less and less of us are doing this and taking the time to do it because it takes so much work. It takes so much time. You know, people just don't want to do that. They just want to immediately get in the cage or immediately throw punches and kicks and, you know.
Get smacked in the face and then not want to do it no more.
Yeah, you already know. Right. Right. So I was kind of lamenting on the negative, and then one of a good friend of mine, you all may know him. He's actually in this area, and that's Sifu Kevin Seaman. Mm-hmm. Now stand-up skills started to do things. It's like, oh my God. Well, that's kind of the advantage when you're used to dealing with boxing hands and sandai